HarperCollins and HarperAudio present The Good Ones, a novel by Polly Stewart. Performed by Maggie-Meg Reed. Prologue. The last time I saw Lauren Ballard, she was scraping a key along the side of a new cherry-red Chevy Silverado. The newspapers and media reports never showed this side of her. They liked to use the photo of Lauren leaning against a stone wall in a gown encrusted with 1,000 hand-sewn crystals, or the one where she posed in a field in a long white dress with her train rippling behind her and a butterfly perched on her wrist. The problem was that the pictures were fakes, relics of the summer she spent modeling for the wedding boutique downtown back in high school. Her own wedding had been small and not particularly joyous, the swags of white tulle decorating the pews hanging limply in the August heat. It was a familiar small-town story. The girl whom everyone expected to move away and make something of herself had been caught instead, locked down by the familiar forces of inertia and an unplanned pregnancy. The guests seemed puzzled by how things had turned out, and I guessed that no one knew what I knew, that Lauren had gotten knocked up on purpose, having flushed her birth control pills down the toilet in her senior year of college. What followed was so predictable that I could have written it myself. Lauren and her new husband bought a starter home on Blue Ridge Road, and he went to work for his father's realty company. After their daughter Mabry was born, Lauren got her real estate license and worked part-time. From the outside, they looked like a family in an ad for cereal or stackable washer-dryers. After Lauren disappeared, the police and the media saw what they wanted to see: a young, beautiful wife and mother who had married her high school sweetheart and settled in their hometown. She should have been cable news catnip, the pretty white girl from a good family whom viewers could ogle and pity at the same time. But this is what I've learned. The dead or missing girl is never the subject of the story. Sometimes she's not even the object. She is the circumstance, the accident, the nexus through which vectors cross. No one really knows her, not even the people who were closest to her in life. She becomes a stranger when you realize that her last moments were incomprehensible, an abyss you can't fathom. This is not a story about a murder. It's not the story of what happened to Lauren Ballard in the early morning hours of August 10th, 2001. I can't tell that story, because even all these years later, I still don't really understand the events of that night. All I know is what was left behind: broken glass, a trace of blood on a wet washcloth, tire tracks in the grass. These details are what matters, whether they're in photos on a true crime blog or lying neglected in a police evidence locker. I've arranged them every way I can think of, but it's like trying to play a board game with pieces missing. It's like a dream when you're walking down a familiar street and suddenly you're in a different city, staring at your reflection in a plate glass window, trying to remember what brought you here. The heat that morning was thick and damp, the kind that makes you sweat in the crease of your neck and behind your knees. After breakfast, I dragged the 2 dusty gray inner tubes out of the shed, loaded them into the bed of my truck, and met Lauren at the Outfitters by Horseshoe Bend, where we paid a guy $10 to take us upstream to the boat launch, packed in with half a dozen out-of-towners who oohed and awed at every mountain vista like they'd never seen a tree before. Lauren's husband had taken the baby to visit his parents for the weekend, and we'd decided to spend it like deadbeats, floating the river with a cooler of beer. We waited until
Sample complete. Ready to continue?